Yeah, baby. Welcome to Wednesday morning. It's Tony Kurre here. Get a little scratchy throat, man. Maybe because it's finally going to rain for the first time since like 1973 around here. Hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you have a great Wednesday. Only have a few minutes here. Super busy here at work this morning. Got a breakfast this morning with my good friend Michael Coleman from Mission Minded, one of our great shows. Then I got a couple other meetings, but I want to check in real quick. Someone sent me an email, info@tonykurreradio.net, info@tonykurreradio.net. I get a lot of emails. I try to respond to some stuff on social media and everything else about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They had realized that I had broadcast the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame maybe 10, 11 times. I was up there one of the first years it opened. I used to do a show up there every year on Valentine's Day. We used to actually get a couple married in the studio. And evidently, there's been a recent podcast with Mark Winter, who, of course, was one of the co-founders of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he was asked the question about 4 specific bands, and do they even get discussed about getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? That'd be Foreigner, Styx, Boston, and REO Speedwagon. And I think it's interesting because normally whenever someone says it's Foreigner in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I know they weren't, but most people couldn't even tell you if they were. You could certainly make an argument for that. REO Speedwagon as well. Teresa Ponder, good morning to you. Betty Selman as well. Styx, you could certainly make an argument for. REO Speedwagon. And Boston, out of those 4, I think certainly should get a look-see despite the fact they only made 3 albums. So I had someone go, here, I'm going to send you a list of artists that aren't in the Rock and Roll of Fame. Tell me why they should be in the Rock and Roll of Fame and whether you think they should or should not. And I said, sure. So for some reason, Foreigner, Styx, and REO Speedwagon are all kind of lumped into the same late 70s, early 80s kind of bands that were all over the radio. You couldn't turn the radio on without hearing them. Al Cooper, good morning to you. But at the same time, it was almost like a placemat, right? It was like a placemat in rock and roll. It was like it was really good. They filled the airwaves with a lot of music, but are they Rock and Roll Hall of Fame worthy? Foreigner, when I think about the Hall of Fame, here's the deal. Hall of Fames, regardless of where they're at, are going to exclude some individuals, and I think about Canton, Ohio with Kenny Stabler, because I always thought Kenny should have been in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and of course he got in posthumously. But I'm not saying they're excluding on purpose, but I think they keep some people out so they can keep some conversation, period. I think there are some bands that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame goes, no, let's push it off another year because, we wanted people to keep talking about us. If you're letting every band in, you think you're like, why not? Then all of a sudden it's every kid gets a trophy kind of thing, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or the Cooperstown or anywhere else Hall of Fames, they're not special. And I believe that in order to be in a Hall of Fame, you have to have a hell of a career, you have to have a long career, and not only do you have to be an expert and skilled in what you do, whether that playing field is a football playing field or a radio playing field, you have to have influence, and you have to have done some other things besides those things. And for the most part, just be an all-around nice guy or girl to get in. So I look at Foreigner and I go, no. And if I have to think about it, I don't think so. I'm not saying they shouldn't eventually get in. Would it help if Foreigner got back together again? I don't know what the situation. REO Speedwagon, absolutely not. I don't think REO Speedwagon, despite the fact they had a couple of huge albums. Everyone has huge albums. I don't think they should get in. Styx, no. I look at a Hall of Fame. Are they a great band? Do I love them? Will I hear their music on the radio? Probably for the rest of my life, probably. But Hall of Fame right now, no. But Boston, a band that only came out with 3 or 4 albums. I think it was 3. They were influencers. I still can't go a day without hearing More Than a Feeling. It's amazing. I mean, everywhere I go, I hear More Than a Feeling. I heard it again yesterday while I was walking through a Home Depot. The thing's like 60 years old, and it's still played like it's a hit. And not only that, but it changed the way we not only listen to our music and listen to our radio and our favorite personalities, but it changed the way it sounded. They were so far ahead of their time. When that album came out in the late 70s, 76, 77, man, I remember my brother hearing it for the first time. He's like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard, because we never heard anything like that. They changed music, period, the way we listened to it. And there were so many bands that were influenced by Boston. I think they should certainly get in. All right, let's work through it. Iron Maiden. No. I I know there's a lot of Iron Maiden fans. Iron Maiden's on tour right now. They're back, and they're selling out everywhere they go. But as far as their influence and what they did, they were a joke when they first came out. I know there's some metalheads are like, nah, they were a joke. They weren't selling albums out, and now 40, 50 years later, all of a sudden, everyone's starting to make this argument that Iron Maiden should get in. I don't think they should get in. Motley Crue, absolutely. They've been influencers. They're still relevant. You can say whatever you want about Tommy Lee, but the video actually did the man good. They've been out, they've done specials, they've done shows. They certainly are raucous. A lot of people know they're knuckleheads. They walk off stage 5 minutes into a show. But Motley Crue, influencers. Bad Company, absolutely. I've had this discussion with Damon Johnson from Brother Kane, and of course of Leonard Skinner. Just got off the road with Leonard Skinner, and of all the bands out there, Bad Company should be in, if for no other reason, just because Paul Rodgers has got one of the greatest singing voices of all time. Ronnie James Dio, no. Slayer, absolutely not. Sammy Hagar. Sammy Hagar, I'd love to see him in because I'm a huge Sammy Hagar fan, but no. Maybe he's part of Van Halen, okay. The fact that David Lee Roth's in and Sammy's not in with Van, that's like, what? But Sammy Hagar, and he's still very relevant, still doing shows, but I don't think so. The Guess Who? Absolutely. You just look at the longevity, the career of that band and what they did and their sound. If you hear a band on the radio, man, and you know right away before they even start singing who it is, it's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Guess Who? Absolutely. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Yeah. Emerson, Lake and Palmer was one of those bands where, again, so orchestrically different than anything else I had ever heard on the radio. And I know a lot of rock and roll stations, when ELP was out, they were going to play everything they came out with. But man, if you listen to some of their music, you could have put it on Magic 96 easy. You could have put it on the easy listening station, played Emerson, Lake and Palmer from the beginning. You could have played that right there. Carnival number 9. I'm saying yes, it's because I think they were so influential in the way we listened to music. It was so different. Jethro Tull, absolutely. I remember the first time I heard Thick as a Brick. Kai Gregory, good morning to you, man. Brian Les, good morning to you as well. Don't forget later on tonight, by the way, Kai, checking out Southern Precision Staffing brings you Live Wire Wednesday. It's all AC/DC music on. That is a band that is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think they got it in 2012. 8 o'clock tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time. Listen all over the world. And of course, Southern Precision Staffing, 205-682-2828, 205-682-2828 for all your staffing needs, construction, or anything else. Check out Southern Precision Staffing. They're awesome. They're great. I checked in with Kai last night. Jethro Tull, absolutely. The first time I heard Thick as a Brick, I was like, this is unlike anything I've ever heard. And their music is so deep, so influential. And really, we were talking about Dark Side of the Moon yesterday. It's one of those groups where do yourself a favor and listen to the entire album. Listen from first note to last note. Their albums tell stories. I love that. Ozzy Osbourne, absolutely. I don't know how you can keep Ozzy Osbourne out. The fact that he's only in for Black Sabbath. His solo career has been 8 times that of what Black Sabbath was, period. Ozzy Osbourne should be in the Rock and Roll of Fame, and get him in there soon because at the age of 73, I don't think he's going to be around a lot more. And then the last band that I was asked about was Soundgarden. I believe that Chris Cornell, if he was still alive, Soundgarden wouldn't even be in this conversation, but I think because he passed away, a lot of people are having some empathetic or sympathetic thoughts towards the band that perhaps they should get in. I realized they were a Seattle band. They were kind of the next rung up the ladder of the Nirvana movement, and certainly that grunge rock sound ain't going away. But Soundgarden shouldn't get in. Just a couple of groups that I was asked about to comment on Rock and Roll of Fame. I'd love to get your thoughts. Leave them right here on Facebook Live. We have fantastic shows that run at 9 o'clock in the morning all the way till 8 o'clock every single night of the week. It's fantastic. Download the TKR app. Thanks to tens of thousands of people who've already done that. You're doing me a huge service. It's free. Pull it up. If you don't like it, get rid of it. But I promise you're going to like it. Every review we got is a 5-star review. We try really hard to bring you great classic rock and roll and great unique programming that you won't get anywhere else. So check out the TKR app and go search Tony Kurre Radio Podcast. We are on every major industry. We have over 13 shows, hundreds and hundreds of episodes, everything from Dark Side of the Pooch to Mission Minded to Live Wire Wednesday on Wednesday nights. Linda, good morning to you, Lala Poo Poo. I love you. It's my sister. We have the Damon Johnson Show. We have Austin Hanks. We have Wanna Bet with Kip Keefer. We have Need to Know. We have When in Rome with Stuart Rome, the Woodhouse Day Spa. Fantastic shows. Check it out. And finally, don't forget, it's already the 12th, coming up here in 17 days. Big Halloween party at Workplay. Check out Workplay. Workplay.com. While you're there, get your tickets for David Merlin. We're going to have Elvira show up, and Skinny Tuba is going to be playing tomorrow night, New Orleans style of music. Skinny Tuba is going to be happening at Workplay tomorrow night. Go to workplay.com and get your tickets now. I love you. Off to work we go. Have a fantastic day. It's going to rain all day, so be careful. Mwah!